please tell us about your vision for broken glass marketing?
I have no vision. That is the truth. My company truly got started by doing things I didn't want to do as a human. I did not sit down and go, we're going to do this and we're going to have this over here and we're going to have. No, all I did was just sit in my office and go, I can't do that task. I just can't do it. I will sit here and spin in my chair 14 times. I can't do it. And so then I started making a list of all the tasks I didn't want to do, continued to not do them. And my business was just going down. And I finally said, okay, I've got to make a change. And so it was not so much a vision, but a change one step at a time that has now landed us where we are with our software as a service.
That's incredible. That's and I honest and I love that. Like, most people would come back with like, oh, I better make a vision statement here because like, so, but I
I
love that.
I'm not building the plane as I'm flying it. I'm literally figuring out where the plane's going while we're in it. I mean, just these past few months, I mean, when we built our software, it was supposed to just be for me, for my business. That's it. It was supposed to just be for biz dev. Then we made it a software as a service. And then we got some, what I would call individual contributors. So kind of like W-2 folks who were working at larger companies used it to help just do their job better. And I said, okay, that tracks. Where I really had no vision, but where our software has exploded is in the job market. Folks who have sent out hundreds and thousands of resumes just into the void realized it's back to basics. It's all in who you know. So using our tool to connect with the companies and people that they want to work with are landing on the jobs. That wasn't my vision. All I
That's
did was
amazing.
put my product out in the world, and the world decided this is how they were going to use it.
That's kind of cool. That's amazing to have that happen and to watch that happen. What would you say is your why behind what you're doing now?
I wanted to be true to myself. Before COVID, we lived like every American family. I would go to work in the morning. My husband went to work in the morning. Somebody had to chase the dog down to put him in the kennel. Our daughter had a nanny who'd pick her up from school. She'd change clothes in the backseat of the car on the way to tennis. She'd come home at 9 o'clock at night and I'm feeding her peanut butter and jelly because nobody took the chicken out to thaw it. And then we're screaming at each other because the dog ate a battery and no one's had a bath. I mean, that was every single day of my life. I thought it was normal. All my girlfriends shared the same stories. So, okay, this is normal. Then when COVID happened and everything, it was kind of like musical chairs and the music just stopped. I really had to become, first of all, comfortable with myself, which had never happened. I'd never been alone or quiet with myself to start having these crazy person conversations with myself. And I started to kind of learn, okay, I can do anything I want to do today. What do I want to do? I have no idea. I'm used to being told what to do. And I'm used to flying around on my broom and being 10 minutes late for everything. So I just started small. I said, we're going to walk the dog. I see people walking their dogs. That must be a normal thing people do. I don't know. I'm training myself as a human at this point. So I told my daughter, I was like, we're going to wake up at 9 o'clock because that's what Dolly Parton would do. So we're going to wake up at 9 o'clock and we're going to go walk the dog. And that was my first plan of kind of learning what I wanted to do and who I was. And so as COVID went on, I became more and more comfortable being myself and only doing what I wanted to do. So then fast forward to coming back online. All right, let's go to work now. Let's go back to the kind of the life we had before. I knew I did not want to do work and life that way. I realized I had to come back online, but I wanted to do it very purposely and I wanted to be true to myself and not get back to that place. So everything that came across my radar, I was very mindful. I didn't just say yes to. I said, do I want to do that? Is that like, does it bring me joy? Is it progressive to any goal I have? Is it progressive to a friend goal, a business goal, or am I doing it just because I got invited to a book club? Like, why am I like, what is my why? What is my why behind this? So I became very comfortable being selective. And when it came to the work side, I was the same way. I said, I do not, some of the tasks I realized that we needed to do coming back, I brought my agency back online after '08. And so I expected this to be the same thing. I was like, no problem. We've been here before. We know this monster. We'll get things sorted. It was not the same as coming back after '08. And so after working with my business coach and realizing the tasks I needed to do to bring my business back online, it was a straight up no. Not
Wow.
doing it, no way, no how. It was a visceral, physical feeling I could not do. And so
Mhm.
those tasks were data mining for client contact, scroll, cut and paste. It was sending out all these engagement emails, text messages, following up, looking for them on LinkedIn. Like I'd be like this, like looking on LinkedIn, like trying to, and I said, I can't do it. So I determined that I was going to be true to myself and not do it. But I realized I had to get my business back online because Wells Fargo wants their payments every month. And so I had to find another way. And
Mhm.
it was just by having my back against the wall that virtual assistants were my first way. Then we were able to integrate AI to help assist and fill in other tasks so that I could do the work I wanted to do. Like, I love my work. I love connecting with people. I love doing what I want to do, but I'm not doing anything I don't want to do. And so that's what I try to give all of our clients. I want them to be able to utilize our tool in their business so that they're only doing what they want to do in their business. They're not having to do any other tasks they don't want to do.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, which part of this, like, do you end up like what part of it lights you up? The parts that you do want to do. What is that?
I have always been a connector.
Mhm.
Even in real life, I really liked being the girl that knew someone. And that was just kind of, I think, started as a child. And so bringing it into my work life pre-COVID, when people go, oh, do you know a good piano repairman? I don't know a piano, but I know a good piano repairman. And I took pride in knowing these things and connecting people together and then seeing their joyful reaction when they got connected. And so that's really what we do now with our software. We just do it in a virtual way online.
Mhm. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. And then where are you going with this vision? Because it's, I mean, you don't have like a set vision, man.
I have no idea.
Like
I
literally no idea.
no idea. I literally every 24 hours, I change my clothes and I just show up for life. And I go, okay, where are we going today? Because I had no idea when I started my company that we were going to be building a software as a service. We were a marketing
Mhm.
agency for 20 years. That wasn't my vision. And then I had no idea I'd be partnering with people using my tool to get jobs.
Yeah.
I'm just showing up for the next step, hoping that what I've built can help people be happier, live better lives. One of our subscribers reached out and she said, I went to my daughter's soccer game today. And I was like, thanks for sharing, Pumpkin, but I don't know why this is newsworthy, but thanks, love the feedback. And she's like, it's the first time I've ever been because she felt such a guilt that she should be using that time to scroll on LinkedIn or send another email or do something to, in her words, earn the money to pay for the sport. And I get that. As a mom, I had that conflict. Do I do this task to earn the money to pay for the sport, or do I enjoy watching my kid do the sport? And
Mhm.
so anything that we can do to help fuel both sides of that's the vision I don't have. But what we'll say is that's the path I'm following. So
Yeah.
as things come our way, that's kind of how I maybe that answers it. That's how I determine what our next step is. Our next vision
Yeah.
is it true to our founding reason? Are we doing things we want to do, and are we not doing things we don't want to do? And are we then also empowering people who use our tool to make those same choices and not have to do things they don't want to do?
That kind of sounds like a vision to
I
me.
know. I think you're like a therapist, like helping me work through it.
No, it really sounds like a vision, and it sounds like a catchy one that, I mean, people don't want to do what they don't want to do.
Mhm.
They want to do what they want to do and what they're great at, and now you're
So it's
making
like,
that
let's go
happen.
with it.
I
Like,
think you got a vision.
I find it. Just roll with it. If that's the way we're rolling, like,
I love that. So, let me see. Oh, I wanted to ask you, what would be your goal for being on the Vision Pros podcast?
I want to empower people that it's okay to have a different feeling in any capacity. It's just
Mhm.
like I was not okay with going back to life the way it was before. I
Mhm.
had no plan, no vision. I had no idea what that was going to look like. I just
Mhm.
knew that that was what I wanted. And I wanted to be true to that. So I want to just encourage people in any capacity. You can follow that and still be successful.
Mm.
Just be open-minded to where you're going. And also, AI is a very polarizing topic. There's the camp who thinks it's going to steal our dogs and take our brains out and dye our hair purple. And then there's the camp who's like, I can't live without it. I love it. And there's really no in between. But what I really try to communicate with AI is, as counterintuitive as it sounds, it allows us to amplify the human to human experience, which is what we all want. We all want to be in groups. We all want to be, social with each other. AI lets us do that, but I don't think that's what most people's first thought is. And the way it works like that is it takes away the essential but repetitive tasks that are in most of our jobs or processes that then allow us to spend time on the human part of things. I'm able to spend time talking with people. Like, I would feel guilty talking to you today for 20 minutes if I'd be thinking about all the tasks I need to do. So I probably would decline, to do things. But knowing that my avatar is doing all those tasks for me right now, allowing me to have this human experience, I like sharing that with folks.
That's pretty freaking cool. That's amazing, really. All right, let me ask you this. In your opinion, what defines a great leader?
Someone who brings out the best in their team. Because as a leader, it's not about you at all. You've already been through the paces. You've already gotten the badges. Now it's like, great, you can do it for you, but can you coach and help other people do it for themselves?
And a follow-up to that is, what's the best leadership experience that you have had?
I've had a couple bosses, and most were horrible, I think, as most people will say. I love the ones that trusted me and gave me autonomy and said, okay, you may not be doing this the conventional way, and I'm going to be here with the fire extinguisher if things go sideways, but I'm going to give you enough rope to at least set something on fire for us to use the fire extinguisher. And let's just see what happens. You may come up with a great idea, or we may have a problem, but it's giving me that space to fail without using it as like a finger wag against me. That's where I've done my best work.
That's pretty great. Let's see. Now this one, how do leaders lean into funding their vision? So let me back up with that and ask you, are you bootstrapping this? Did you have investors? How is it going for you? And then we'll go to this one.
I had no plan. And so if I had, I honestly would have done it very differently than I did. I would have sat down and said, okay, I'm going to build a software as a service. I'm going to need this much in engineering fees. I'm going to need this much not the plan. I was just winging it. 800 here, 1200 here, no idea how much I had spent or where we were going with it. And so I definitely could have done it in a much cleaner, simpler way, but I just had no idea what I was going to need. So it was bootstrapped all the way. And so now I am thinking about just kind of some advancements that we want to make to the software and just kind of some next level stuff I want to do. I'm like, now I really need to figure out how real people fund their businesses. It's like I definitely I would fall short of borrowing from the mob or my in-laws, but short of that, I'm really open to the idea because there's no need to. There are so many groups out there that want to help businesses that's their love cup. That's how they enjoy it. Like I love helping my clients, so there's companies out there that love helping people. So I need to figure out who those companies are and how to work with them, but. It was funded one credit card swipe at a time with no plan at all.
That was brave. Entrepreneurs are like that.
You're right. They don't know when to be afraid. It's like normally you'd be like,
yeah, for sure. My goodness. So let me ask you this. What tips do you have for entrepreneurs?
Don't stop. If you have an idea, even if it's not fully baked like mine, or you have an idea that ends up becoming something else, don't stop. Like, it's okay to change, because there were people who I would chat with along the way were like, no, I'm sorry, but no, Gillian, focus. You're a marketing company. Why are you building a software? I'm like, I don't know. My soul is telling me to do it. And so just listening to that inner voice, pushing forward, believing in yourself. Even my husband, when I was building this, thought it was just a Lego set. Like he did not think it had any value, was not supportive. And I was like, whatever, don't care. It wasn't until my avatar actually commented on one of his LinkedIn articles. He comes in the kitchen, he goes, oh my God, you read my article. I'm so excited. And I was like, I would never read your article unless I was on pain meds, which I'm not right now. So what is happening? And I was like, oh my God, it was my avatar. And the joy I saw in his eye because as humans, we want that. We want to have people like what we do. We want to have people respond to what we do. And so the fact that I had responded positively to what he had brought him so much joy. And I was like, well, it's my avatar. And then he goes, it did that? Like that little thing you've been building works? And so then it became a whole new ballgame.
What are you currently exploring in your business?
No idea. Well, I think we're currently kind of exploring how to best help job seekers. How do we position our marketing? How do we position the tool? And how do we make it affordable for people who are maybe unemployed or they're underemployed and they're wanting to make a job switch? Because our tool it's a monthly subscription, and we do have a partnership with LinkedIn. So a portion of our user fee goes to LinkedIn, which gives us a lot of really cool fun benefits. But it does also kind of back us into a price point, to say nothing of we bootstrapped it. So we're trying to pay back, Wells Fargo and Amex every month for it. So I do want to get to a place where we have enough subscribers that we could do like a give back program where we could let folks apply, kind of like how the power company does. If you need help with power, like, I really want to do that because I don't want a tool that I have seen be so successful stay out of the hands of people who truly need it just because there's a barrier of cost.
Thank you for being here today. I'm really happy that you tuned in to Vision Pros Live. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions as these episodes continue to move forward. This is going to get more and more fun. We'll have more and more engagement as well. We'll invite people to participate in the show. And thank you for giving us your time and attention. Have an excellent time building out your vision and becoming a Vision Pro yourself.